Kaki Belave, and I'm here today with Uma Kali Shakti. She is a writer, director, performer, producer, and filmmaker. Hello.
Kia ora, Nisambula Vinaka, Namaste, Yamadu Marang. I'm really very excited to be here and to be part of what we're doing at the moment.
Thank you for sitting with me today. Two of your plays are part of Sydney Fringe Festival this year. What are they called?
Well, Durability Divas is actually a devised work with the other two people on stage, Maddie and Holly and I, and it's looking at issues of the disability in the heads of the people who consider themselves able-bodied and how they look at us. And as a basis of our work, we've taken a leaf out of Shakespeare's play, Merchant of Venice specifically, and Shylock's very famous speech, and Portia's very famous speech. We all have different skills and we are valued for what we can share and bring, and so that's how we look at it. We've got different skills, let's look at what we can do rather than what people perceive or assume that we can't do. So that's that one. The second one, Island Journey, is actually a very personal piece that I wrote and decided to utilise it from a short story into a monologue. And it's quite personal and quite painful, and I'm very proud to have Veena play the role, and she does it fantastically. So it's been very exciting to have an opportunity to work with these three people to present this for the Sydney Fringe Festival.
And in today's society, women are rising up. They're bringing in strength and courage, and I think that's a great way to show.
Absolutely. I might point out it isn't just today. As a feminist, as a full-time human rights and social justice activist, we've been fighting forever. And it's not just modern day. So the Me Too movement is the latest sort of rising and bringing that, or as they call it, the time has come. We felt like the time is not only coming, it's been and hopefully not gone.
So the rehearsal process and what happens before it actually goes on stage is, I think, are very important.
Absolutely.
How was that process to work with two different plays but also very meaningful to you?
So in both of them, we were mining our own experiences and what took us there, how did we feel, why did we... So you asked the question of who, why, what, when. And so, that's the process when you're working together, is to see the underlying meanings. And so we were also, of course, because, as I said, we used the basis was Shakespeare, so we were then analysing what was happening, what was being said and what was meant, because, of course, the language is very, very different today. And so we were trying to do that as well, to analyse it and give a more modern turn to some of the expressions or modern values. I fell in love with Shakespeare and all his works at school. I'd gone to Indian movies when I was a kid, and so when I came across Shakespeare, it was like, oh, this person's just like the Indian movies, only he's a little old white man, But the stories were just reminded me with a passion. So for me, that's what it was. It was Shakespeare was an Indian fella in my because of the way what he wrote about. When I got involved in theatre, there were very few women performing, let alone doing any of the other stuff, and even fewer people of colour. So for me, the challenge was, as a woman and as a person of colour, to ensure that our voices were being heard. So I think I've always been someone who's looked at the injustices and wanted to do something about it, speak out about it, demonstrate about it, in lots of ways when I say demonstrate, and look at issues of accessibility, how accessible are things.
So open up more opportunities for people to understand and get involved in these kind of movements.
Absolutely, to get more and more of us involved. For example, I'm involved in Short and Sweet and have been for almost 17 years, and when I first started I can barely remember female directors, And as for people on stage, well, you can just imagine. So that's changed. There's in fact, I think it's almost tipped the other way. There are more female directors. There's a much greater range of people on the stage. When I've asked, they're saying, well, people have now realised they need the diversity and equity as well, because it just makes it more interesting to see a whole range of us.
More colourful on stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you may love roses, but if they were the only flower, it would get boring.
Yeah.
Whether it's film, whether it's television, whether it's a theatre or broadcast media or print media, all of that. We want to see ourselves reflected, and it's very interesting.
What kind of different kind of art that you want to create in the future?
I'd like to work with far more diverse group of people, and you think of the diversity I carry within myself, but I'd like to work with more diverse cast and crew, but also it'd be lovely great to get an opportunity to do, say, maybe television series from our lives. I just want to keep exploring. The other thing I mentioned, I love working with kids. So some years ago the kids wrote a panto, and I was lucky enough to be there, part of that group, but also to take the panto to stage. And that was very exciting. So yes, I want to keep on working with children as well in theatre. So and as I'm moving into filmmaking, explore what I can do in film that maybe is different from what I do in theatre. And so if people say success, well, I found it rewarding, and my friends and family support me, and people have more or less enjoyed the stuff I've done. That to me is success.
What should your audience be looking forward to before they step into the theatre?
Well, for a start, Pitt Street Uniting Church is a beautiful old building. It's a church and it's just gorgeous inside. And then you're going to hear the voices of staunch women. The whole thing is predominantly done by women, for women and about women. And that itself is exciting. And to see the range of work that we'll be presenting. I'm looking forward to seeing what else is on there.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
I think you're going to love everything that we're presenting.
It's quite exciting, really.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm passionate about what we're doing. So,
well,
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sitting with me. And
No worries.
Such nice, wonderful thoughts.
Thank you.